Ja, god dag. Mitt navn er Ervik. Peter Ervik, as I've been called for a long time. I'm the president of a non-profit organization called CO2 Offset International Incorporated. And we have a website you hopefully have been watching, CO2 Offset. And we have there a couple of films, short films of Al Gore. One was recorded in April of this year and the other one only recently. And in the first one he talked about the Venus, the tail of the two planets, where Venus has a temperature of 850 something Fahrenheit, and that's about 450 centigrade. Now, the reason why it's so hot there is because they got all the carbon in the atmosphere and they create a perfect greenhouse effect. Some people, skeptics, might say that's because it's closer to the sun. Well, that's not the case, because Mercury is much closer and much colder. And of course we on this planet are doing what best we can in digging up all the carbon and burning it up and putting it up into the atmosphere. And the oceans are getting warmer. Global warming is a fact. The North Pole is now likely to disappear completely within 5 years. And then Greenland. And if Greenland melt away, there's about 3-4 kilometer thick ice. People has been saying, oh, don't worry, it'll take a long time before all that ice is melted. Well, it doesn't look like it will take a long time, because ice, as it melts, form lakes of water on top of the ice, and they overflow and spill off into the cracks and get underneath the ice, and suddenly the whole thing slides off into the ocean. Well, it's been estimated that if all the ice on Greenland slide into the ocean, seawater levels will increase worldwide by about 7 meters. And of course Antarctica is not so badly affected yet, but there are some disturbing trends developing there as well. So if that slides into the ocean in the same way as Greenland appears to be doing, sea levels worldwide will rise by 27 meters or 28 meters combined from what they are now. Well, that's very serious, and we should do everything we possibly can to avoid it, and of course reducing our dependency on fossil fuels is most urgently needed. And of course the North Pole and the South Pole, the ice caps, are the motors which drives the wind and the tides and our weather. And once they are turned off, we have serious problems on our hand, because then the world is well advanced in self-destruction. And of course there are some people who scoff at this and say, look, it's a natural event, doesn't matter what we do. Well, that's those people who like business as usual. And I think it's a very irresponsible attitude to have, because we are faced with the ultimate health and safety issue of all the people on this planet. So it should be taken very serious. Our organization, of course, is a non-profit organization, and we are working on want to reforest the planet. The world is getting tree-wrapped. The farming methods has been basically to cut down the trees and allow the grass to grow to become feed for the animals. Problem is that when there is no trees and there's no rain, no grass either, and the whole place turns into a desert. The same problems are much all over the world, much the same all over the world. So if it is a natural phenomenon, well, at least we shouldn't we shouldn't add to it. We shouldn't sort of hurry up and make it happen as fast as we can. We should prolong our life on this planet as long as we can, because it's a very, very serious matter. And for the people who believe in creation rather than evolution, the Bible talk about the prophecies about the planet burning up. Well, if we're heading the same way as Venus, if we go up to 450 degrees, well, all the oceans will boil and evaporate, and of course the water will be suspended above, and hopefully then it'll cool down again and we start back at square one, but our life will be gone. So this is very, very important. And I've heard people referring to the issue as if you are in a car traveling at 100 miles an hour heading for a brick wall. Well, having the occupants just sitting arguing and quarreling amongst themselves, who's going to pay what and who's going to sit where and do what, I mean, that's very silly. They should be talking about how to change direction, how to slow down the speed, how to put on the brakes, and how they can avoid hitting that wall. It is a sad thing when you read the papers and look at the media. They're all quarreling about the cost of climate change and what they should do, instead of being concerned about the end scenario of total destruction, which is the way we're going. And I believe that we need to repent in many ways of our way of life, and there's no need to be so extravagant in luxuries and in lifestyles. Life can be very, very good in living in a simple and sensible way. And electric cars, the technology is there. But we have basically now close to a 1,000 million addicts on oil. And addicts are addicts. They think they must have it, but they can be weaned off it. And we can wean ourselves off this dependency on fossil fuel. Solar power and wind, geothermal, they are all energy sources which is renewable and clean. There is no pollution attached to it. So I like to urge you to consider this very seriously and support us in the effort we do. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope you continue to watch our web page, as we will bring more people and more interesting things for you to look at. And goodbye and God bless.